Hello students, today's topic is how do wages affect labor supply? Suppose there is a person whose name is Sally. She earns a wage of $50 per hour and she is awake for 100 hours per week. She can spend her total time by working or by enjoying leisure. Her wage represents a trade-off between leisure and consumption because for every hour of leisure she gives up, she works one more hour and gets $50 of consumption. Here we have two axes. This is the origin. On the horizontal axis we have taken hours of leisure and on the vertical axis we have taken consumption. If she spends all 100 hours enjoying leisure, then she has no consumption. And if she spends all 100 hours working, then she will get a weekly consumption of $5,000. And this is Sally's budget constraint. If she works a normal 40-hour week, then she will have 60 hours of leisure and her weekly consumption will be $2,000. We can use indifference curves to represent Sally's preferences for consumption and leisure in this way. Because Sally prefers more consumption and more leisure, she prefers points on higher indifference curve than the lower ones. Sally chooses a combination of consumption and leisure represented by this point labeled as optimum. This point lies on the budget constraint, that is on a highest possible indifference curve I2. Now suppose Sally's wage increases. Let's take a look at substitution effect. Increase in wage rate implies leisure becomes more costly relative to consumption. This encourages Sally to substitute away from leisure and towards the consumption. Or we can say that this induces Sally to work harder in response to higher wages. In that case, her consumption will be increased, but hours of leisure will be reduced. Reduction in hours of leisure implies increase in hours of labor. Now let's see income effect. Increase in wage rate implies that Sally now moves to a higher indifference curve, or she is now better off than she was. In that case, both consumption and hours of leisure will be increased as long as they are considered normal goods. But increase in hours of leisure implies reduction in hours of labor. Let's see the case when substitution effect dominates the income effect. Here we have two panels. In the left panel we have taken hours of leisure on the horizontal axis and consumption on the vertical axis. And in the right panel we have taken hours of labor supplied on the horizontal axis and wage rate on the vertical axis. This is Sally's initial budget constraint. This is the initial optimum. In the right panel, we have shown the initial wage rate and hours of labor supplied. Now suppose that Sally's wage increases, as you can see in this way. In that case, budget constraint will shift outward in this way. You can notice that budget constraint has become steeper because there is a change in the relative price. At a higher wage, she earns more consumption for every hour of leisure that she gives up. This is the new optimum. As you can see that substitution effect dominates the income effect, so there has been increase in consumption but reduction in hours of leisure. Reduction in hours of leisure implies increase in hours of labor supplied. And now we will join these 2 points, and here is our labor supply curve. You can notice that this labor supply curve is upward sloping. Now let's see the case when income effect dominates the substitution effect. Again, we have 2 panels. We have defined the axis. This is Sally's initial budget constraint. This is initial optimum, optimum consumption and optimum hours of leisure. In the right panel, we have shown the initial wage rate and hours of labor supplied. Now suppose that the Sally's wage rate increases in this way, then the budget constraint will become steeper. This is the new optimum. And because income effect dominates the substitution effect, there has been an increase in both consumption and hours of leisure because both are considered as normal goods. But increase in hours of leisure implies reduction in hours of labor supplied. And now we will join these 2 points and we'll get labor supply curve. Notice labor supply curve is backward sloping. Conclusion: when substitution effect dominates the income effect, in that case, increase in wage rate will lead to increase in hours of labor. And when income effect dominates the substitution effect, in that case, increase in wage rate will lead to reduction in hours of labor. So the labor supply curve can be either upward sloping or backward sloping. Thank you.